Guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will look at max chunks to make sorted problem, which is from Leetcode number 769. Let's now look at the problem statement. In this problem you are given an integer array ARR of length n that represents a permutation of the integers in the range of 0 to n minus 1. We split array into some number of chunks, that is partitions, and individually sort each chunk. After concatenating them, the result should equal the sorted array. Return the largest number of chunks we can make to sort the array. Now let's look at the constraint before we actually look at the problem. So in the constraint section you see the n value is less than equals to 10. So whatever technique you apply, you are going to pass. Even if you apply an n factorial technique, it will be less than 10 to the power 8 number of operations. So it is going to run within 1 second. You check out that all the elements of array are unique, because if n is the size, then the elements will always range from 0 to n minus 1, and it will be a certain permutation of these numbers, right? So let's look at an example. In this case, let's say we have n equals to 5 elements, and we have the given array. Now the constraint is the number of elements will be n, and each number will be in the range of 0 to n minus 1. Our goal is to divide the array into adjacent blocks and sort each of the blocks to get the ascending order, and we need to find the maximum number of blocks which can lead to the ascending order array, and the n value is always less than equals to 10. Now in this particular case, can we divide at this point and sort the first part and the second part to get ascending order? You will see that we cannot do that, because if you pick this as the partition point between this 0 and 1, then if you sort the first block you will get 1, and if you sort the second block you will get 0, 2, 3, 4. But if you concatenate them, you will get 1, 0, 2, 3, 4, which is not ascending order. So picking the partition point between 0, 1 is incorrect. Now if you go for correct partition points, then one of the correct partition point will be between 1 and 2. And if you do that, then we can sort everything from 0 to 1 and 2 to 4. If you sort everything from 0 to 1, you get 0, 1. And from 2 to 4 you get 2, 3, 4. Now if you concatenate them, you get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is correct. Now even you can pick another partition point. Let's say you did not pick between 1 and 2, but you picked between 2 and 3. If you do that, then you can sort this entire part from 0 to 2 and get 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, and from the second group you can get 3, 4. And if you concatenate them, you get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Otherwise you can also try out picking one partition point from 0 to 1, another partition point from 2 to 2, another partition point from 3 to 4. And in this case we are getting 3 different blocks, and if you sort each of the block 1, 0, you will get 0, 1. If you sort this 2, then you will get 2. So you have 0, 1, 2. And if you sort the last block, you will get 3, 4. And this is also ascending order sorted, right? So our goal is to partition as many times as we can, so that the number of groups will be increased. So if you try solving this problem by all possible combination, then you will find that the maximum number of groups that we can have will be 3, which is partitioning from 0 to 1. That means putting a partition point between 1 and 2, and also taking out this 2 to 2 as a different block and 3 to 4 as the third block, right? If you do this, then you can sort each of them separately and concatenate them so that you get a ascending order sorted array. So how many blocks could we create? We created 3 blocks, and therefore the answer is 3, right? Since the constraint is very small, therefore you can go by solving using all possibilities and you will get it fine. But then let's look at an idea for solving with an optimal approach. So in this case, we will try to pick the partition point. Like, how do we decide whether certain point can be taken as the partition point? That means the end of a group. Now if you look at the first example, let's try to understand this visually. If you look at the first example, then can we pick a partition point at 0? Partition point at 0 means everything till 0 will be included in a group. Now if you pick a partition point at 0, then all that you have is 1. But then can we have 1 only on the left hand side? Now this will always be incorrect, because you should always have 0 to the left of this one, right? Otherwise it will not be sorted. So in this case I cannot put a partition point at 0. But can we put a partition point at 1? Yes, you can put a partition point at 1, because all the items that we have seen till 1 are 0 and 1. So if you sort them, then you will get 0 and 1 in the correct order. But if you had not seen all these items, then I could not pick a partition point here. Yes, so I can pick up partition point between this 1 and 2. Now can you pick another partition point at this 2 having placed a partition point at 1? Well, yes, you can do that, because if you had put partition point at 1, this means that all the items from 0 to 1 is already lying in this first block. And once that is done, if you want to pick the next group, then all the items ranging from greater than 1 to less than 3 must be present in the second group, and that is true. Okay, greater than 1 and less than 3 is only one item 2, and 2 is present, so I can put a partition point here. Now can I put a third partition point at this point after 3? Well, if you have to put this, then this should contain all the items greater than 2 and less than 4. So that item is 3, but here 3 is not contained, therefore we cannot put a partition point at this point. Can we put a partition point here? Yes, you can put this because it will have all the items less than infinity. At the end I will always assume there is infinity. So all the items less than infinity and greater than 2. So what are those items? 3 and 4. And yes, 3 and 4 are there, so you can sort it. So in this way you can decide on where to place the partition points, isn't it? And so if you sort them, you will get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will be sorted. Now if you look at another example, you can easily figure out that you will be picking the first partition point at this point, because everything to the left is all possible combinations, that means the numbers from 0 to 1. Okay, now you cannot put a partition point at 2 because this should have been 2. You cannot put a partition point at 3 because if you put a partition point here, then all the values in the range of 2 to 3 must be 2 to 3 only. Okay, but this is containing 4 and not 2, so this cannot be put here. We can put a partition point here because all the numbers in the range of 2 to 4 must be in the range of 2 to 4, and yes, it is in the range of 2 to 4, right? So you know that in this problem the indices are in the range of 0 to n minus 1 and the numbers are also in the range of 0 to 1 minus 1, but it is just in the form of some permutation. Okay, so whatever permutation it is in the form, whenever you create a partition point, the values may be unordered, but then they should be the exact same values as the indices in the group. Okay, so it is just like the concept of anagram. Like if you consider an anagram, let's say ABAC, or you have CAAB, they both are anagrams of each other, right? I mean, they exactly have the same unique numbers in the same frequency, but their ordering is different. But then you can say that they are the same anagrams, right? Similarly here you do not have any repetition, but if you remove that concept of repetition, then everything is the same like anagrams. Okay, so 0, 1 and 1, 0 are anagrams. If you look at 2, 3, 4 and 4, 3, 2, they are anagrams, right? Now let's look at this third example. In this particular case, you have the items from 0 to 3 and they are all also given in the same order. So since I want to maximize the group, so I will keep partitioning at every point. Because if you look at it, 0 and 0 are anagram, 1 and 1 are anagram, 2 and 2 are anagrams, and 3 and 3 are anagrams, right? So the answer in this case will be 4. Okay, because we can divide it into 4 groups. In the previous cases, you can answer 2 here, and here the answer would be 3 because I can divide it into 3 groups. If you look at the last example, then here, can I put a partition point here? No. 0 and 3 are not anagrams. Can we put a partition point here? 0, 1 and 3, 0 are not anagrams. Can we put a partition point here? 0, 1, 2 and 3, 0, 1 are not anagrams. Can we put a partition point here? Yes, because 0, 1, 2, 3 and 3, 0, 1, 2 are anagrams. They are just jumbled up. So here you just have one block. There is no other option. You have to take the entire array and just sort it. So the question is, will you try all possible partition points? Well, you can try all possible partition point because it will always give you the correct answer and the constraint is also very low. But actually you do not need to try that, because whenever you can create a partition point, like let's say the first example, whenever I was able to create a partition point, I will definitely do that. Because if I don't do that, then I will always get less number of blocks than I could have actually got, isn't it? If 0, 1 and 1, 0 are anagrams, then let's divide this and declare this as block number 1. And let's proceed further and declare this as block number 2. So my approach will always be to form the smallest possible group, and whenever a block can be made, I will obviously make it. I will not delay the process. There is no benefiting in increasing the block size. Okay, so whenever I find that I can create a partition, it is an anagram, I will do that. Okay, so the greedy approach is going to work here. Now, how do you decide on, what will be the partition point in a general case scenario? So let's say that the array is given with abcxy. Okay, I don't know the numbers, but you know that all these abcxy, since the n value is 5, it will be in the range of 0 to 4. You already know that, right? Let's consider about creating a partition point between 2 and 3. And let's think about, can we actually have a partition point between this 2 and 3 so that ABC form one block and XY form the other block? Well, this will be possible only when all these items ABC are smaller than each of the item on the right partition X and Y. It has to be true all the time. Now I can reframe this concept and say that the maximum on the left side must be less than the minimum on the right side, so that there is no rearrangement needed to be done. Okay, if you consider an example, I can put 2 0 1 here and I can put 4 3 here, right? So that if you take the maximum of this 2 0 1, which is 2, will always be less than the minimum of this 4 3, because if the maximum is less than the minimum of the right side, then every element on the left side must be less than every other element on the right hand side, isn't it? So let's consider another general case scenario where I am picking I to be the partition point, and 0 to I am considering to be present on the left side, and I plus 1 to j I am considering to be present on the right side. So all the elements on the left side from 0 to 1 must be certain rearrangement of the numbers from 0 to I in such a way that I can say that the rearranged number and the previous number, the index must be anagram. Like if this I was 2, so I will say that 0 to 2 is my index going in terms of 0 1 2. The rearranged number could be 2 0 1, and they both are anagrams of each other, right? So using this concept and the previous concept, I can also say that the maximum on the left side must be less than the minimum on the right side. Now if you have observed till this point, then you will understand that the maximum on the left side will always be equals to I if you are trying to create a group from any index on the left side till I, because it is certain rearrangement of all the values from 0 to I, isn't it? So the maximum value has to be I, right? So this will be the deciding factor. Whenever I see that the maximum that you have seen till now is equals to the current index, that means it is the end point of a block. This is the main idea of creating the block. So I hope you have understood the concept of anagram, the min-max comparison, and why the maximum on the left side should be equals to I. Having known all of this, we can do greedy partitioning, and we will see the dry run now. So let's say we have the given array with n equals to 5 items. So definitely the values will be in the range of 0 to 4 in certain permutation. I will be maintaining the maximum seen, and the maximum seen will be assigned with 0 because all the values are greater than equals to 0, right? So always whenever I see an item, I will update the maximum seen, which will be max of already known maximum seen comma the current item. So this is 1. So I have seen a maximum value of 1 till this index 0. So can we create a partition point here at 0? So the maximum seen must be equals to the given index. Otherwise it will not be the anagram that we are looking for. That means the rearrangement, right? As I already explained, if you are at index 2 and if you are thinking of creating a partition at this index 2, then the rearranged number, here the maximum value seen till this index must be 2 only, right? Otherwise you cannot create a partition. So if you create a partition, 1 will be on the left side, so it will never get sorted by concatenation. So I cannot create a partition here, and I will be moving to the next point. Now when you move to the next point, you have 0. So the max seen will be max seen till now, comma 0, it will remain to be 1. So can I create a partition point at this 1 between 1 and 2? Well, you have to check the index. Index is 1 and the maximum seen is 1. So yes, definitely you can create a partition. Okay, so when you can create a partition, I can take a counter and I can just increment the counter to a value 1. This means that a block has been created and I will be moving to the next index, 2. So the maximum seen will be updated to max of 1 comma 2. This will be 2. Can I create a partition here at this index 2? Well, the max seen is equals to index. So yes, I can create a partition and the counter will increase. Now I will go to index number 3. The max seen will be updated to 2 comma 4, which will be 4. So is this 4 equals to 3? No. So I cannot create a partition here. Let's go to the next item, index 4. The value is 3. So the max seen will be updated to max of 4 comma 3. So this will remain to be 4. Now I will be checking if the max seen is equals to index. Yes. So my counter will increase and I can create a partition here, and we are done. So this means that we have created 3 blocks. This is block 1, block 2 and block 3. And we can just return the counter as an answer, which is 3. We traverse from left to right exactly one time, and therefore the time complexity is order of n, and we are not using any extra space, therefore space complexity is order of 1. So this is the most optimal approach. Let's now look at the code. If you are someone who is looking to prepare for top product based company within a limited time of just 3 months, then we have brought for you both the DSA and the system design live interview training program. The most important feature of this program is you get a filtered and condensed structured curriculum, in-depth discussion of all the topics, and my guarantee of your understanding, one-on-one guidance with me, and live weekend classes. To know more about the training, you can WhatsApp us on this given number. In this problem, we are given the array, and I will be finding the size and the count, which will be counting the number of blocks, the maximum seen as I had shown you in the dry run. And then I will be iterating for each of the index. Whenever I see an index, I will be updating the max seen value. And if the max seen value is equals to index, then we have found an anagram, and so I will be incrementing the counter. And at the end, I will be just returning the count of number of blocks. So this is the simple code which is linear time order of n, and I hope you were able to understand it. If you still have any doubt, then feel free to comment below and I'll try to help you as soon as possible. Like and share our video and subscribe to our channel in order to watch more of these programming videos. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.